Welcome to Yoga for Bone Health. To strengthen our bones, we'll be holding each one of our poses for 30 seconds. I will keep track of the time so you do not have to. You'll need 2 blocks and a belt. Have your props within reach, and we'll start on our back using our belt. Once you come down onto your back, keep your knees bent, unravel your belt, and bring your right knee in. And then bring the loop onto the ball mound of your right foot. Straighten your right leg, flex your right foot, keep your left foot grounded, knee bent, and we'll start our 30-second hold. Press your right heel up toward the sky. Feel your right little toe rotate down towards you as you press your right heel up toward the sky. We're not trying to bring our right leg closer. We're activating our quads and our lower leg muscles by pressing the heel up the entire 30 seconds. So this is about strengthening while lengthening rather than increasing that range of motion and bringing our leg closer to our forehead. Be here for one more breath. And then exhale, drop your right leg out to the side in the shape of a V. Flex your right foot, keep your left knee bent, hug it in towards you. Now rotate your right little toe down toward the ground as you press your right heel away. Feeling that strength in your leg the entire time. Feel connected to your core. Pull low belly in toward the spine. Be here for another inhale. And then exhale, bring your right leg back up to center. Bend your right knee, remove the belt from your foot. Place your belt to the side and lower your right foot back onto the ground. Pausing here for a few moments, feeling that shift of energy you created on the right side compared to the left. Just relaxing back body into the earth. Now keep your right knee bent and bring your left knee in so you can slide the loop onto the ball mound. Straighten your left leg up. We'll begin our 30-second hold. Press your left heel up to the sky. Rotate your left little toe down. Keep your right knee bent and hug it in toward midline so it's not dropping out to the side. Feel strong and connected to your core. Low belly pulling toward the spine. Just pressing the left heel up the entire time, strengthening your leg muscles, not trying to deepen into a hamstring stretch. Be here for another inhale. And then exhale, drop your left leg out to the side. Keep flexing your left foot the entire time. Keep hugging your right knee in as you press your left heel away. Feeling that external rotation of your inner left thigh as your left little toe now rotates down toward the ground. Feel strong and centered, connected to your core the entire time. Be here for about 5 more seconds. And then bring your left leg back up to center. Bend your left knee, remove the belt from your foot. Place your left foot onto the ground. Keep both knees bent. Just pause here for a moment, letting that balance settle in. And then finding your block, place your block in between your knees with the short edge facing you. Have your heels underneath your knees. Ground into your heels, press into your palms, inhale, and exhale, lift into a bridge pose, squeezing your inner knees in toward that block. We've started our 30-second hold, and just know that at any point you can lower and release if you need to. Keep pressing your shins and your kneecaps forward, a gentle pressure in the middle of your heels. Feel lift and open across your heart. If your glutes are gripping together, just relax them a touch so that they're not causing you to arch your lower back. Be here for another breath. And then lower and release back down to the ground. Remove the block from between your knees, place it to the side, and then drop your knee bones together so they're touching. Have your feet out wide and pause there for a moment. And then begin to windshield wiper your knees from one side of the mat to the other, a clearing gentle motion. Eventually drop your knees over to the right side of your mat. Press your left hand into the earth so you can lift up into a seated position, and we'll transition to being onto our bellies. So drop your knees down so you can swing your legs back. Be on your belly and reach your arms back behind you. We'll set up to come into a locust pose. So know at any point in your 30-second hold, you can lower and release. So to begin, press the tops of your feet down. Hug your inner thighs in toward each other. Take an inhale breath. And then when you exhale, float and lift away from the earth. We've started our 30 seconds. So again, at any point, you can lower back down. Use your exhale breath if you feel like you can lift and float up higher. Keep your face relaxed. Make sure your jaw's not gripping. You're using your breath to support the pose. So be here, flying away from the mat, soaring and using your breath to feel lighter and lifted. And then slowly begin to release back onto the ground. Plant your hands mid-torso and press into your palms so you can lift your chest away from the earth slowly. We'll come into a tabletop position where you bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Then take a moment to find your two blocks and then place your two blocks more on the left side of your mat so you can sweep your right foot up to the top of the mat and then bring your block in your right hand back to the outer edge of your right foot. Tuck under your toes and straighten your left leg and hop your left foot up to the top of the mat, ending up with your feet separated hip distance apart. And then bend your knees. Shine your sternum forward, bring your arms out to your sides, and with a lengthened spine, come all the way up to standing. Drop your arms down to your sides, palms facing forward, thumbs rotating back. Stand here in your mountain pose Tadasana for a moment. Keep your chin parallel to the earth. Feel connected to the strength, pressing into the middle of your heels, and grow taller from the crown of your head. And then place your hands onto your hips and we'll move into our warrior one pose. So check and make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. And then bend your knees so you can step your right foot back and ground into the middle of your right heel. Keep your left knee bent and we'll start our 30-second hold here. So press into the outer edge of your right foot the entire time. Keep your right ribs rotated forward towards the short edge of your mat. So this pose is about strengthening the lower body. But of course, you can add expression. Hands stay on your hips, or you could bring your arms into cactus tree arms out to your sides. Or if your shoulder blades can stay down your back, you might reach your arms up alongside your ears. Feel that slight pull of low belly toward the spine so you're lifting and opening across the heart. One more breath. If your hands are lifted, bring them back onto your hips, and we'll bring our right foot back up to the top of the mat. So begin to hop your right foot back to the top of your mat and end up with your feet separated hip distance apart, big toes parallel. Bring your arms down into your mountain pose Tadasana, standing up nice and tall, ground into all four corners of your feet, lift your kneecaps, strengthen your legs. And then place your hands onto your hips and we'll switch sides in our warrior one pose. So bend your knees so you can step your left foot back. Make sure your feet are separated hip distance apart. So you might need to walk your right foot over just a touch. Press into the outer edge of your left foot the entire time and rotate your heart forward. We'll start our 30-second hold once you settle in. So feel here strong and stable in your back leg the entire time. Of course, at any point, you can add variations with your arms. Bring your arms into cactus tree arms, or possibly reach your arms up alongside your ears, never losing that connection to pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Be here for 3 more seconds. And then bring your hands back onto your hips and we'll bring our left foot back up to the top of the mat. So hop your left foot back to the top of the mat until your feet are hip distance apart, big toes parallel. Bring your arms down to your sides and stand strong in your mountain pose, pressing into the earth. Lift your kneecaps, hug your inner thighs in toward each other. And then we'll need one of our blocks for this next part of our series. So grab one of your blocks and we'll step out wide with our right foot and turn to face the long edge of your mat. Make sure your stance is really wide and then just place your block down onto the ground in front of you. Place your hands onto your hips and turn your right toes in so you can press into the outer edge of your right foot, strong right leg, and we'll move into a warrior two pose. So turn your left toes to the top of the mat, bend your left knee. Settling in here, we'll start our 30-second hold. Press into your right foot while keeping your left knee in line with your left heel. Feel strong and stable at your core. And maybe eventually you'll bring your arms up into your warrior two pose, arms at shoulder height. You might choose to gaze through and beyond your left fingertips. Be here for 3 more seconds. And then bringing your hands back onto your hips. Straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes in and turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee and we'll settle into our warrior two pose on this side. Starting now, press into the outer edge of your left foot. Strong left leg, strong core. Eventually, you might choose to bring your arms up into your warrior two pose and gaze beyond your right fingertips. Always an option to keep your neckline neutral, though. That helps keep your shoulders relaxed down your back. Be here breathing, always about the breath. Maybe deepen into your warrior two, bend the knee just a touch more. And then place your hands onto your hips, straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in, and then heel toe your feet back to hip distance apart and stand in your mountain pose Tadasana. You could rock back and forth a few times. Feel open sensation across your heart as you ground your feet into the earth. Imagine you had a block right on the crown of your head, standing tall in your mountain pose. And then place your hands back onto your hips. Again, step out wide, really wide stance. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out, bend your left knee, and we'll come into extended side angles. So place your left forearm onto the top of your left thigh. Keep your right hand on your hip for now and rotate your right shoulder up and maybe gaze up in that direction. This is a perfect place to stay the entire time. Or you might sweep your right arm up and alongside your ear. It's always an option to keep your neckline neutral. Press into the middle of your right heel so much that your left ribs are lifting away from your strong left thigh. And then keep the strength in your back leg and just come all the way back up to standing. Bring your hands onto your hips, straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes in and turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee and we'll come into our extended side angle on this side. So place your right forearm onto the top of your right thigh. Keep your left hand on your hip as you rotate your left shoulder up, opening across the heart. Perfect place to stay exactly here. Or you might sweep your left arm up and alongside your ear. Root into the middle of your left heel so much that it feels like your right ribs are lifting away from the earth. Open spaciousness across the heart. Keep your gaze forward or up towards your left fingertips. And then keep pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Just transition back upright, torso in line with your hips. Straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in. And again, heel toe your feet back to hip distance apart. Stand tall in your mountain pose for a moment. Rooting into your feet, feeling your chin stay parallel to the earth, and that sense of brightness across the heart. And then this time you'll need your block. Pick it up in your left hand and take your really wide stance again. Moving into triangle pose, keep the block in your left hand and turn your right toes in. As you turn your left toes out, place your right hand on your right hip. Reach your left arm out at shoulder height. Imagine you're trying to slide your heels closer to each other, but your feet won't move. That will engage your leg muscles. Take an inhale breath. When you exhale, begin to reach your left hand forward, shifting at the waist. And then drop your block behind your left shin without losing that strength in your legs the entire time. Prop up onto your left fingertips. Rotate your right shoulder up. Stay exactly here, or you might choose to reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Wherever you're at, feel lighter and your fingertips lifted and open across your heart. And then if your hand is lifted, place it back onto your right hip. Look down at your left big toe. grab your block and come all the way up to standing. Bend your left knee and turn your left toes in, and we'll come into triangle pose on the other side. So turn your right toes out, keeping your right leg straight. And then place your left hand onto your hip. Bring your block out at shoulder height. Slide your heels close together. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, begin to reach your block away from you, shifting at the waist. Place your block behind your right shin. Prop up onto your right fingertips. Turn and look up and over your left shoulder. Stay exactly here. Or maybe reach your left fingertips up. Keep lifting your kneecaps, hug your thigh muscles in towards your thigh bones. Maybe rotating and lifting more across the heart space. And then if your hand is lifted, place your left hand back onto your hip. Look down at your right big toe. Keep your block in your hand as you come all the way back up to standing. Bend your right knee, turn your right toes in, and then begin to heel toe your feet together and slide your block in between your upper thighs and stand in your mountain pose for a moment, hugging your inner thighs in toward that block, standing tall, feeling all that strength you created in your thigh muscles. And then place your block to the side, and we'll come into balance, practicing tree. So to start, place your hands onto your hips, ground into your left foot, and pivot around the ball of your right foot. We'll begin our hold right here. So squeeze your outer left hip in toward midline. So you're strengthening your standing leg. Keep your core connected. Your hands could stay on your hips the entire time, or maybe bring them in towards your heart. Keep gazing at a single point for focus, and don't forget to breathe. And then we'll slowly begin to release, both feet on the earth. Hands come down to your sides, palms forward, thumbs rotating back, standing in your mountain pose Tadasana for a moment. And then switching sides, place your hands onto your hips, ground into your right foot, and pivot around on the ball of your left foot. We'll begin to stand for our 30 seconds. Hug your outer right hip in, strong core, pull low belly in toward the spine. Hands could stay on your hips the entire time, or maybe you bring your hands in towards your heart. Feel energetically that extension of radiance from your fingertips. Connect to your heart. Let's be here for 4 more seconds. And then releasing, both feet come onto the ground, stand in your mountain pose Tadasana. And then turn back up to the front of your mat. Have both of your blocks at the top so that you can bend your knees, plant your hands on your blocks. You can lower all the way down to the ground until you can sit off to either side of your feet and bring your legs out in front of you. We'll set up to move into our twisting series. And our twists are gentle twists. We're not trying to deeply rotate the spine at all. We're just trying to keep the spine lengthened while we move into our twist. So to begin, bend your right knee and slide your right heel closer to you. Feel that you're equally grounded into your sit bones. Flex your left foot. Place your left hand onto your left shin, prop up onto your right fingertips behind you, and we'll come into our 30-second twist. So keep flexing your foot, press the heel away. Try to come into your twist without pulling your right leg closer to you. So your right hand's just gently resting on your shin. You're pressing into the middle of your right heel. So that helps you lengthen your spine. You're not necessarily trying to gaze over your right shoulder. You can keep your neck in line with your spine. So it's a gentle rotation. And then slowly begin to release. Extend your right leg back out long onto the earth. You could point and flex your feet a few times, shake out your head. And then we'll begin to come into the opposite side. So bend your left knee so that you can bring your left heel closer to you. You're still equally grounded in your sit bones. Now flex your right foot and we'll settle in for our 30-second twist. So bring your right hand onto your right shin, prop up onto your left fingertips behind you. press into your fingertips so that as you inhale, you're lengthening the spine, bringing the breath up to the collarbones, and exhale, settle into your twist. Keep a gentle pressure in the middle of your left heel the entire time. So that helps you lengthen each inhale breath without causing a deep rotation. So that stability in your left foot on the earth is really important here to support your twist. And then slowly begin to release. Bring your torso back to neutral facing center. Straighten your left leg. Again, you might shake out your legs, bounce them up and down a few times, point and flex your feet. We'll now begin the process of moving into a bent knee twist. So bend your left knee and place the sole of your foot somewhere on the inside of your right thigh. And then bend your right knee, place the sole of your right foot in front of your left shin. So you're keeping your sit bones equal here. Then place your left hand onto your shin, prop up onto your right fingertips, press into your fingertips, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, settle into your twist. Again, without trying to hug the leg closer to you. You're just using your left hand for gentle support. You're really pressing into your right fingertips in the middle of your right heel. So you're creating stability in your twist without deepening and feeling that you're stressing the spine to deepen into your twist. Be here for one more breath. And then slowly begin to unwind. Lean back on your hands so you can straighten both of your legs out. Again, just bounce your legs up and down a few times, point and flex your feet. You might even shake out your head here. And we'll begin the process of switching sides. So now bend your right knee, place the sole of your foot into the inside of your left leg. Bend your left knee so that you can place the sole of your left foot in front of your right shin so you can keep your foot grounded. Prop up onto your left fingertips behind you. Right hand is on your shin. As you inhale, press into your left fingertips. Really lengthen your spine. Both of your sit bones stay grounded the entire time. So we're not trying to deeply twist here. It's just a gentle rotation. More about the stability in the middle of your left heel and in your left fingertips as you breathe deep breaths all the way up to the collarbones. Holding here for 5 more seconds. And then slowly begin to release from your twist. Lean back onto your hands and we'll recline onto our backs for our Shavasana. Give yourself plenty of time to let the poses settle in. Maybe sigh.